هذا القرآن يوحدنا لطريق الخير يوجهنا الله تعالى أنزله ورسول الله معلمنا
13 contestants have made it through to the semi-finals of the National Qira'ah Competition, but only 4 will get a place in the final.
Importance of Qira'ah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Qur'an, وَرَتِّلِ الْقُرْآنَ تَرْتِيلًا, recite the Qur'an the way it should be recited, right? So the melody in the Qur'an and the influence that the recitation of Qur'an can have on someone's heart is immeasurable. That soothing tone, that recitation, those words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has an effect on someone's heart and can change someone's life, can change someone's outlook on life as well. And for me, the art of reciting Qur'an varies from children to children. I remember last year's NQC, we had a contestant by the name of Zakaria, and he came to the competition with a twist. He didn't recite like the normal recitation, the hadr recitation that majority of the contestants recite in, but he came with a slightly different style, and he learned that from his motherland. I think he was from Morocco or one of those countries, but he came with a unique style, and that style was so different, but at the same time so powerful and so unique in its own right, and he won the competition. So those talents are these hidden gems in our community will never come out until they come to these competitions, and that for me is a beautiful thing about this competition and the qira'ah element of it as well. It's the art of reciting Qur'an. It's how you demonstrate what you're trying to recite. So reciting is not just reading or it's not a textbook that you read. So Allah, is reciting in a way that you will influence others' hearts, and the poetry element to it, it's indescribable, but beautiful, and that's what we look for in someone's qira'ah.
Obviously, qira'ah is all about the Qur'an. The importance of qira'ah, which means recitation in English, is like the importance of the Qur'an. Allah says to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and we have revealed the Qur'an to you so that you would recite it to people. So the Qur'an, even the word Qur'an, means something that is being recited. So recitation is all the Qur'an, even from its name, is something to be recited and read. And the Qur'an is the way you recite the Qur'an. And unlike any other speech, there are some rules for that. So for example, the rules of tajweed that we're testing the children in are exclusive to the Quran. So when we needed the Fusha, the regular standard Arabic, which is not the Arabic, which is not part of the Quran, we don't make it gham and iqlab and these sort of things. Even some of the tajweed rules in the Quran, we observe them in normal Arabic. But by and large, the rules of tajweed are particular to the Quran. So Qira'ah is as important as the Quran, and if we start speaking about the benefits and the virtues of the Quran and the high grades that people of the Quran will get, I will not finish. So let's just quote one hadith. The Prophet ﷺ says, يُقَالُ لِقَارِئِ الْقُرْآنِ. On the day of judgment, it will be said to the reciter of the Quran, the one who recites the Quran, اقرأ وارتقي ورتل. Read and rise and recite as you used to recite in the dunya. كما كنت ترتل في الدنيا فإن منزلتك أي في الجنة عند آخر آيات تقرأ. For your level, your status, your degree in the Jannah will stop with the last verse you are reciting. So just imagine that the Jannah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Prophet said, Jannah has so many levels and the degrees. Only out of these 100 degrees will prepare for those who struggle in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And part of the struggle is not just fighting, struggling in learning the Quran, learning the knowledge and teaching it to people. So the more you read the Quran, the more you master the recitation of the Quran, the higher the degree you will get in the Jannah. And the reader of the Quran will be able to make shafa'ah or intercession for not only for himself, but also for members of his family, particularly his parents on the Day of Judgment. So to have the recitation of the Quran, you have the best of the best of the best, because you're reciting the best way to the best book that has ever existed in the best of the times, for the best of the generations, for the best of people. So this is the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So you can speak unlimitedly about this, and it's enough to know the virtue of the Quran, to know the virtue of reciting the Quran.
This week on NQC Extra, we're going to review the following contestants: Ahad Shahid, Hawwa Shahid, and Moiz Shahid.
Alif Lam Mim.
Like siblings Mohammed Farhat Haq and Sadia Haq, they put themselves up to challenge each other. The hard work that Ahad and Hawwa put into their revision was apparent to see on the day, as they were both put through to the next round along with contestant Muhammad Naim Ahmed. Here's what the judges had to say on the day.
It's very tough for us to say who is the first winner, second and third. So we have made the decision with Mr. Sheikh. We're gonna, because they are all exceptional today, that's why the three of them, they should go to the next round, inshallah.
Okay, so Sheikh Ahmed, your opinion is that all three of them should go through, and all three of them are winners.
Moiz is the eldest sibling of the Shahid family. He came to the knockout round on week 4 at the age of 12 years. He battles it out with Muhammad and Hamidul Islam on week 4 of the knockout round. The Islam Channel filming crew travelled all the way to Birmingham to speak to the Shahid family.
My name is Taimur and I'm their uncle. The kids, as you see, they are very cheeky and very naughty, and they're a joy to be around. And look at them carrying on, making fun of me. I feel very small right now. I feel smaller than the kids. This competition really inspires them and motivates them to do even more. For example, when you don't have a competition and they're still laughing, one of the best ways is this way, which is competitions, because it does motivate them to do even harder and try their best, especially when competing with others, right? It's the same with adults as well. We have adult competitions and stuff like that. So it really inspires and motivates people to do even more, even better than before. And it puts that extra drive in that person, right? When you're isolated, you don't feel motivated enough. When you have another person, a companion to compete with, it becomes even better of an experience. I think it's great. All of them can compete against each other, which they're not really doing. They seem very friendly and they get along with each other really well. There's no competitiveness for them, which is a good thing in a way, because they can help each other out. And it doesn't create sibling rivalry, which in many cases that does affect their results and how they perform. Moiz, what do you think your strength is? I think he has a really good tone and melody. Okay, and Hawwa, she's got a good key. She can stay in tune really well. And Ahad here, he's really strong with his voice. He's got a really thick voice, which really helps as well. It increases their confidence, for sure. It increases their communication skills as well, because it really brings them out from that comfort zone, and it allows them to push even further and become even better. So when dealing with other people, dealing with the crowd as well, you have those nerves, and that helps overcome them. So it does help.
We put each of the contestants onto the hot seat to answer a few questions about how they felt about their NQC experience. Here's what they had to say.
If you could describe yourself using 3 words, what words would they be?
Creative, clever, talkative, smart, talented, and brave. Active, nerdy, and funny.
When your mum's not at home or she's not telling you to wash the dishes, what do you love to do?
I have loads of stuff, but the thing I mainly do is I make slime.
I like playing football and drawing. I like to play games and football.
I make slime with different stuff, but I will show you later.
I like playing on the console.
So what you want to be when you're older? Like if you got to pick one thing you could be, what would it be?
I want to be a heart surgeon when I'm older, or maybe a brain surgeon.
I want to be an Islam representer.
A businessman.
And a doctor.
Yeah, all three of us do recite like in a similar tune. So we do sound the same. And I have a feeling my siblings are gonna go through. I think I have, I'm good in the melodious tune, and I know a lot of Qur'an by heart. I don't know, I have a good voice.
Many people say that my voice is nice. I'm confident, and I just want to go up and win.
My memory is good, so I can, the translation, I'm good at that. I feel a bit nervous because my sister, she usually beats me in other competitions.
I just want to go up and win.
And she went into the finals in another competition and I never.
It feels challenging and excited at the same time because what if I win?
It was when I went to mosque. I started just reading the Qur'an by looking, and once I finished it whole, I started memorizing with my mom.
How much of the Qur'an do you know off by heart?
I know 4 juz, but I nearly know 5. 5 juz.
I know 2 juz by heart, but I'm on my 3rd one at the end.
How did you start learning the Qur'an?
I think I was about 5 when I went to the mosque, when I went to the madrasa first.
I think I was 8, 9 years old.
I was about 6 years old when I first finished reading the whole Qur'an by looking.
My mom teaches me and I go to other mosques and I just learn it with my mom.
Yeah, I was helped by my mom at the start, and then I went to the mosque and then I learned how to read it properly by looking, and then I went to another mosque where I started hifz.
How do you practice for the competitions? Is there a routine you have? Something that you do every day?
So basically, my mom, she prints out sheets what we have to do the task on, and then we memorize what we need to do, and if we know it, to make us do it, my mom takes us for a treat if we know it, to make us do it. And then once we know all of it, then we come to the Islam channel and then we do it.
Every morning before school I wake up, I practice all 3 of all I need to do. And when I come back from school I practice one again, and before I go to sleep. Usually I like to wake up and sometimes I do my school homework, and then after I'll practice doing the competition work with my mum, and then after I'll have like free time and then I'll play games. The hardest thing is the reciting on live TV, and you know, like everyone is watching you. You're scared you might make a mistake, and it's really stressful. I think it was doing the knockout rounds because I had to learn a lot. Yeah. Like the translation, and I had to learn a lot of surahs, and the mujawwad was quite hard.
Sometimes when you're reciting you'll be a bit nervous, especially in front of loads of people and when it's live.
So the first time when I started reading, my heart started beating really fast, but the second time I kind of got used to it and I just continued normally. Sometimes I feel nervous, and like half of my body feels nervous and half the other side feels confident.
Your heart is beating and you don't have no choice to be like, I don't want to do it, because you have to do it, it's live, and sometimes you just feel like crying in the middle because you're so nervous and shy.
The best bit about the competition is when you finish the show, at the end of the show, when you like get up from the seat and you're like, all your stress is gone.
The bit when the judges say the winners.
The best bit, I think it was the knockout rounds when I found out that it was all three of us who went through, and it will make me more feel competitive.
Why do you think it's important to start learning Quran and reciting?
Because when you're older and your children maybe want to recite as well, and you're going to feel embarrassed because you wasn't learning it in the past.
The more young you are, the easier it is to memorize. So if you don't start now, then when you get older it's going to be hard. But if you start now, it's going to be a lot easier.
So it's better to do it now so you could teach other people and get reward.
If there was other kids out there that have never learned Quran before and they want to start doing it, do you have any advice for them? Anything you would tell them?
Just keep doing what you're supposed to do in the competition and do the best you can to the top of your limits, and just go there and do it and make everybody feel happy of your voice.
They should think that I would tell them to like start practicing to read the Quran by looking, and if you like know how to read like hard bits, then I would just like suggest you to start from the back of the Quran, because there's more short surahs and it's easier to learn. It is worth it at the end. After you will have to do a lot of hard work, but it will be worth it at the end.
If there's one thing that the Quran has taught you or that recitation has taught you, what would it be if you've learned one thing from it?
It teaches you to leave a good impression of Islam to other people so that they could be a Muslim. To be humble.
هذا القرآن يوحدنا لطريق الخير يوجهنا الله تعالى أنزله ورسول الله معلمنا